So this is one example. You need to remember the difference between using the Ajax, okay, and this is a normal HTTP request response. So in between, so normally the page goes blank, okay. So whenever if you are filling to get the details from the server, so the page will go blank. So this problem can be in the beginning when you are opening the site first time, okay, you will be having this problem. First time it will get it. So once you load the page and if you are updating some information, okay, if you are updating some information, so in that case, this is updation, okay. So to get the details, once again the request has to be sent to the server and get the details. If it is a normal HTTP request response, once again the page it is going to be blank till it gets the complete detail, okay, or the response from the server. So this step of the problem, okay, that can be avoided using Ajax, okay. The page will be retained in the same state till it get the response, okay. So directly if this is the state of the page, once you click on update, okay, request is sent, but still the page content will be, it will be the same, okay. Once you get the response, directly it will display the result whatever it is requested, okay. So this is problem with the HTTP request response that can be avoided using Ajax, okay. So that is asynchronous JavaScript and XML. In the last module we are going to discuss in detail about Ajax, okay. So for time being I'll just stop about Ajax. We'll move on to the JavaScript, okay. You can see the difference. So yesterday we were discussing about the layers of the JavaScript. So where we have discussed about the presentation layer, business layer, and also data layer. Okay, so this is how the layers are aligned. So here, whatever the concept we are discussing now, okay, it is a basic concept. It is the basic concept of JavaScript. So when we go to further like advanced things, where you will be learning about the jQuery and also, so that is the advanced concept of JavaScript, and also you will be learning about the Ajax. So I think not in detail, maybe the basics we are going to discuss in brief in the later class. So now before going to the further details of the JavaScript, let's understand what happens if the user or the client browser, if it does not supports JavaScript, okay. So there are some of the browsers, either it may be not enabled or maybe the older version it is not supporting the JavaScript. So in such case what happens, okay. So what are the problems they will face? So here I have listed set of problems. One is web crawler. So here web crawler is a client running on behalf of the search engine to download your site, okay, so that eventually can be featured in their search results. Then browser plugin. So a browser plugin is a piece of software that can work within the browser that might interfere with the JavaScript. Okay, so these are the just some problems that is faced by the users. Then text-based client. Some clients are using the text-based browsers, and that means not much graphical interfaces are provided. Then usually disabled client. So when you are designing, you need to keep in mind to take care of all these problems. Okay, so in case of web crawler, what happens is, okay, the first point. So the automated software agent do not interfere the JavaScript. Okay, so it will be directly, it cannot see the enhanced work or whatever the look of a website that is designed. And with respect to usually disabled client, what happens is, so usually disabled client will use the special web browsing software to read the content of web page. Okay, so this is specially for usually disabled client. Okay, in such cases, what happens? The specialized browser do not interpret the JavaScript. Okay, so whatever the browser they've dedicated for usually disabled client, so maybe those browsers it does not support JavaScript. Okay, or it may be not accessible to those users, whatever the browser they're going to use. So it is not going to support some of the older version browsers or some special browsers if it is designed. So these JavaScripts are not going to support. So then there should be some way to indicate to the client that their browsers are not supporting, even though you have designed your program using JavaScript. Okay, so if you have designed the web page using JavaScript, if the client browser if it is not supporting, okay, there should be some indication you have to do to the client that your browser is not supporting the JavaScript. So for that we have a special tag. Okay, I think it is not there here. So we have a special tag. You have to use that special tag to indicate the browser. So what is the tag you need to use is, okay, just put this tag in the HTML code, that is no script, no script. JavaScript is case sensitive. Just remember, it's not like HTML. So JavaScript is case sensitive. So capital N and capital S. And here you just write some content what you want to inform to the client. Okay, so just write your browser does not support JavaScript. Okay, and you have to close the tag no script. So we just add this tag in your HTML document in case if the browser, I think if I add this to my page, okay, you people you just check, write a small piece of code, HTML code, put this content, okay, and how we'll come to know that in case if it is supporting. Let me just go to coding. Name. Okay, I'm just creating small HTML file. So here just write no script. Yes, can you see you are getting the tag, predefined tag. So here you just write not support JavaScript. So in case if my browser is not supporting JavaScript, so immediately I will get this message. In case my browser is supporting or if it is enabled, so I will not see this statement. Okay, so I may get the empty. I don't know if I enabled it or not. Let me just check it. Okay, so click on yes. So I am not getting that message. That indicates that so my browser supports JavaScript. Okay, even you can check your browser is supporting JavaScript or not. Okay, so if in case if you are getting the text message means, so it indicates that your browser is not supporting the JavaScript. Okay, then you have to enable the JavaScript and you can work with the JavaScript programming. Okay, otherwise you cannot. Is it clear? So this is one simple tag that can be used to check the browser is supporting the JavaScript or not. So here you can just use even small case, no script. It was fine. Actually, my system caps lock was on. That's why I got in capital. Otherwise, it works fine. Okay, this is one more small indication how you can check the browser is going to support or not. Okay, it's working fine. Okay, so users without JavaScript. Okay, there is lot of changes that may happen. Maybe the developer maybe added JavaScript in the program. Okay, so if the browser is not supporting, so there will be lot of changes in the content whatever it is displayed. Okay, much of the graphical things also it will not show. Okay, so here there is one problem. There are two terms you need to understand. One is called graceful degradation and progressive enhancement. So here, what is the meaning of graceful degradation? Okay, so browser support for different JavaScript objects has varied. Something that works in current version of Chrome might not work in Internet Explorer version 8. Okay, so this problem normally it happens. So maybe some application that runs in the desktop browser might not work in the mobile browser. So that is the problem. So due to this problem, what happens? There are some strategies are used to take care of this problem. Okay, so in case if the browser is not supporting, so what exactly it has to perform? So it is not like that it should not display the content. There should be some option. Okay, even though if the browser is not supporting the JavaScript, okay, still it has to display the content instead of blocking. So that we call it as graceful degradation. So what exactly happens in graceful degradation? Okay, so here the whatever the site that is when you are trying to open, so the current browsers in case if it is not supports JavaScript because it is the older version of browser if you are using. So in such case, the performance or the look of the page, okay, what happens? It will start degrading. Okay, so because normally when you write JavaScript, there will be a lot of time you will get pop-up messages. Okay, so all this information you may not get if you are using the older browser. Okay, so that is called as graceful degradation, where the JavaScript is not supported. So next one is okay progressive enhancement. So in this case, what happens is you need to take care of like even though if it is not supporting JavaScript, so there should be some alternatives to enhance the look of the page. So that is called as progressive enhancement. So in this case, developer creates a site using CSS, JavaScript, and HTML features that supports by all browsers of a certain age or newer versions. Okay, so normally the whatever the software it is developed in case if we get the some updated version, normally you will get a pop-up messages. Okay, automatically the user will be keep on updating the different versions whatever it is released. Okay, so very rarely we can find that we'll be using the older versions. Okay, so if you are using the newer version, definitely there will be a progressive in terms of the enhancement or the performance so that it supports the JavaScript for the browsers that is used by the client. Okay, so if there is older version, if it is not supported by the browser that is used by the client, so there will be a degradation. Okay, so in terms of look or in terms of performance also. Okay, so this is there are some changes you can just observe. So how progressive enhancement. So consider this is the version. Okay, some version of the browser you're using. There you are getting the details like this. Okay, so there is some numbers. Okay, buttons. and also color. Just you are able to see the just some button. Okay, so you will be able to select the different colors here. So now that can be enhanced. So you can just see the look, it is changed. Okay, so you will be able to get the color information in detail. Instead of ASCII value, you will be able to get the list of all possible colors. Something like this, it can be enhanced the look of the page using JavaScript. Okay, so that is all about the two terms you need to remember. What is graceful degradation and progressive enhancement. So next we'll move on to the very important, that is where does JavaScript go. Okay, what is the meaning of that? Can somebody tell what is the meaning of this? Where does JavaScript go? You should respond. Okay, the meaning here, where you have to write the code for JavaScript. Obviously, it has to be embedded in the HTML finally. Okay, but in the HTML, where you are going to write the code. Okay, so it is like similar to the CSS. We have three methods. We'll just go with one by one. So you just recall the same methods are used even in case of CSS. Okay, where you want to write the CSS code either using inline or embedded or external. Okay, so these are the possible ways of writing the JavaScript. Okay, and if you just compare to the CSS, you can tell which is the best one. So which is the best practice to use out of these? Can somebody answer? Because you people already studied CSS. So now you should be able to tell, so which method is best. Yes, put the answers in the chat box. Yes, write the answers. Are you able to? Yes, somebody answered. I want everybody to respond. So out of these three, so which is the best method to use the JavaScript? So is it inline or embedded or external? So three types. Yes. What about others? Nobody is answering. Okay, Vismaya told external. What about others? Yes, I'm expecting the answer. Is it external? Everybody will agree for that. At least raise the hand. Okay, so I got the answer from Vismaya. That is external method is better. So if you are supporting that answer, raise your hand. Let's do it fast. So we'll just start with each of these methods. Okay. So any response I got? No response. Only Vaishnavi, Anusha. Okay. What about others? So is it so difficult to click on raise hand at least if you are unable to type? Okay. So what may be the reason why we need to go for external? Why not inline or embedded? So when you are answering, you should have a justification why we should not use other two methods. Okay. So let me just keep thinking answer for that. Why we should not use other two? Like commonly used is external. The answer is correct. So it is a good way of practicing either CSS or JavaScript. Okay. Use external JavaScript only. You need to create a separate file with extension JS. Okay, how you have used dot CSS for cascading style sheet. Now you have to give the file name .js and link this file to your HTML file. Okay. So now we'll just go with the first method, inline. So inline JavaScript refers to the practice of including JavaScript code directly within certain HTML element. Okay. So you're going to include JavaScript. I'll be just writing in short JavaScript code directly within certain HTML element. Okay, so now what is the syntax you need to follow? So consider I am using anchor tag here, href. Okay, so JavaScript, you need to specify JavaScript open window. Okay, these are some standard functions I'm using. So we'll discuss all these functions later. Okay, what happens? Close anchor tag. So now I'll be adding the JavaScript along with this input type. I will either use input type or you can use the button directly. Okay, so here I am going to write a script on click. Okay, we'll be learning about these events on click. It is an event. Okay, if there is an event called on click, so it has to perform or alert the user using alert function. So that is alert. So give some message. Are you sure? Okay, close the single quote, close this and close the double quote and close the input tag. Okay, so this is how along with the HTML elements as an attribute you can add the JavaScript. Okay, but this is not preferred. So this is like a bad practice of using inline JavaScript. If it is a small program when you are learning in the beginning, okay, that's okay, you can use. But when you start doing some project, okay, so it's not a good practice to use inline and it should be avoided. So what is the reason why we should not use this is, so maintenance is going to be very difficult. Okay, maintenance, if you want to modify something, if you want to do some changes, it is going to take lot of time. You have to scan an entire HTML file to check for something with respect to JavaScript. Okay, so that is the drawback of inline. So next we'll move on to, I have not written the complete program. Okay, so we'll execute the complete program. So not external, we'll go with the embedded. So second method is embedded. Embedded JavaScript. Okay, so here you're going to like similar to CSS where you put the CSS code using style tag. Similarly, you're going to use a special tag called script. Okay. You are going to put this script element anywhere in the HTML file. It is not necessarily in the head section. Okay. Okay. So JavaScript, how you write the okay. How you can all exceptional handling using try catch. All this you can use it in the JavaScript. How it can be how it can be used. So now it is similar to the previous one, whatever the example I've given. So here compared to the first method, okay, so this will be useful for quick testing compared to inline. I'm telling, I'm not just comparing with the external. If you are comparing with the inline, so this method is useful. So where you can do some quick testing and also maintenance is going to be easier. But if you are comparing with the external, this is also not a good practice, but still you can use. So now how to write embedded. So script, then you have to specify type attribute is equal to text slash JavaScript. Close it. Then your comment line, you can add the comment line. Okay. Then you can add the code here, whatever I wrote in the previous program. Okay, so that is alert. You can use the alert. So you can just give some message here. Okay, you can give warning message. Okay, and close the script. So this is how you need to use the embedded JavaScript. So this is where I have written only one executable statement. So like this you can add still other statement. You can write a small functions also. So the time being I have not added all those things. Later we are going to discuss how to write the functions, how to use the variables, if condition, everything we are going to discuss later. Okay, is it clear? So if it is embedded, you should add the JavaScript code using a script tag. So next, external. The third method is external. Okay, the name itself tells external means you are going to create a external style sheet. Sorry, external JavaScript. So separate file you are going to use to create the JavaScript. And here when you are creating external JavaScript, the file name, okay, so the file name you need to save it as with a dot extension. Okay, file name dot js. Okay, so this is the extension you have to give when you are creating the external JavaScript file. And it is not necessarily only one file you have to link. You can link n number of files. Okay, so n number of files can be linked in the head section. It may include JavaScript or it may be the style sheet. All these things can be added in the head section. Okay, so this is compulsory. It has to be in the head section only. So example, so if you are having notebook pen, just you can scribble this. So this is an important question. So like how you got the question in the test, explain the different ways of representing the CSS. The same thing can be asked for JavaScript also. Okay, if they are asking some explanation, so it does not require to write the complete code. Okay, just if you are giving piece of the syntax for that particular code, that's enough. Okay, so script type This is the normal attribute you are specifying, indicating it is a JavaScript, and you have to specify the source. Okay, what is the source, where it is available? So you can just specify the name of the file, whatever you have saved, with the extension JS. Okay, close the tag. That's all. So this should be added in the HTML part. So this part of the code goes in the HTML. Okay. So now you should have a separate file, that is greetings.js. Okay. So you have to create a separate file where it contains the JavaScript. Okay. So directly you can start, you can put that message, whatever I told in the previous one, that is alert. Okay. Alert. Maybe when you are using web pages, most of the time you will be getting this type of messages. Okay, that's all. You just add the statement, save it, close, and run. So you will be able to get the output. Okay, and just remember, always it should be within the head section. I have not closed, so you close the head section here. Okay, so it should be placed within the head element only. Okay, so these are the same examples I have taken from the, you will be learning all these events. Okay, on click. Okay, what is action to be taken? These are all predefined functions. You can write your own functions to perform a particular operations. So we'll discuss that part in the later class, embedded and external. So next we'll move on to advanced inclusion. Okay. So in production side, advanced technique are used to reduce the request. So that is code still managed in an external file most of the time. Iframe loading is used. Okay, function. So just check it. What is the function of iframe? Have you used this in the HTML? Anywhere did we use iframe?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What is the function of iframe?
Ma'am, any YouTube videos we can call that and use it in HTML text, ma'am, to access that particular video from internet.
Yes. Okay. So when you want to include any media, so in such case we can use this iframe tag. Okay. So we'll be discussing this part in the DOM, that is document object model, in detail, how it can be used. Okay. So these are all the advanced things we'll be learning in the later classes. So next we are going to start the actual programming. Okay, whatever I have given, this is a just syntax where you're going to embed the JavaScript. Okay, so now you should know, to embed these JavaScript, you should know how to write the JavaScript. Yes, no? So once again, it is something like new language you are learning. Okay, always start with the variables. Okay, you will start with the syntax, variables, and conditional statements, then handling the errors, because it is little bit object oriented concepts are used. So where you can use the exceptional handling using try catch. Okay, you can use all these functionalities. So we need to learn the syntax for that. So now before going to this syntax, maybe we are not going to discuss in detail about the syntax. I want you people to just go through one website I will be sharing. There you will be learning. In brief, I will be explaining the main important points, that is how to create the variables, assign the values, and some of the conditional statements, loops, arrays. Okay, other than this, if you have anything, it's better to refer one link, that is W3 Schools. Let me just